Coming inside of the show is the one and only Mike DeLia of Grüns. These green bears right here, ladies and gentlemen, that you will see in Costco's everywhere, that the biggest companies in the earth have paid a gazillion dollars for, and they continue to grow and expand. Now Grüns is doing like a bunch of brands, and methinks Mike is involved all along the way. You know, Mike has got a kind of a crazy steeped in lore, in D2C lore. It's like kind of wild. Groove Life, Ridge, now Grüns. I'm kind of like starting to think, like, if you want a gigantic exit, you just get Mike in, and then that's kind of like baked in, you know?
Yeah, he pushes uppers up and to the right. That's what he does.
Yeah, it's like, I want to make millions of dollars, and I want the biggest companies on the earth to pay a gazillion for it. Like, get Mike in the seat and get rolling with him. We must bring him inside of the show. Everybody, welcome to the one and only Mike DeLia. Mike, get in here. Get inside this show.
Let's go.
What's up?
Mike, what's up, brother? We appreciate you making the time to join us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so stoked.
Boy, we're stoked to have you here. Now, Mike, a couple things. First off, I love the shirt. You and the hat. You and Colin are very synced up right now.
Let's go.
Number 2, hat, awesome. Number 3, the stash. The stash. Much respect to the stash. But give us a little background on you, Mike. It seems like everywhere you stop in your career, brother, is just banger after banger, and all of those companies go up and to the right. Give us a little lore on you, some more details on this.
Just right place, right time, you know? I've honestly just been super lucky in my career, even though I was like kind of just getting started. It kind of all started at Ridge. The guys, Connor and Sean, took a chance on some kid out of college who was selling t-shirts on a spring store for their satire paper in college. And I was like, yeah, I know e-com.
Let's go, baby.
And that was it, kind of off to the races. Just like worked really, really hard and fell in love with just D2C in general. I think everyone in D2C or adjacent just doesn't have a lot of patience, and I don't have one, and I don't have a lot of patience. And that's because of like the instant gratification we get. Like, we put an ad out or a test out into the ether, and we just kind of sit and refresh and continue to look at that performance. And I just feel like you don't get that in other industries. So I kept wanting to chase that feeling. So that's what led me to Grüns. So
yeah,
dopamine.
I absolutely love that. Plus the Shopify ding that you hear every time, just more money. I mean, there it is. Was waiting for that.
Nice.
Mike, you've been to multiple places at this point. You've gone to Ridge, Groove Life, Grüns. You know, that's different categories entirely. What actually transfers over from those different brands, and then what do you have to kind of like relearn every time you get in the saddle?
Yeah. With being like a Shopify operator, just in general, I think you have to just have your finger on the pulse of like SaaS and how that changes, like literally impacts your job. So staying at the pulse on like the cutting edge of technology is really, really important. Listening to shows like you guys, and just like going in and like playing with apps and being like generally curious. Heck yeah. So staying informed. So I'd say that's like what stays constant. It's just like that kind of hunger of like, okay, like how is the thing that I use every day, like how is it changing? How is it going to impact the business I'm in? And like what's out there to learn? Like AI, like didn't catch me by surprise. Not saying that like I'm not learning every day, but it's like, yeah, like you know this is coming. You see how like technology is changing in your everyday, and like you can prepare for it. So I would say don't lose that. And that's like really what's transferred very well. Of course, like systems knowledge as well, just like knowing how things work. Like, oh, they moved like files under content, or content under files now. Like just knowing like those little things like are really helpful as you get into like higher up positions. What changed? The biggest thing that changed, like to rewire your brain, is going from like a high AOV profitable on first purchase catalog brand to a company that sells one product and profitable on first purchase anymore. Because now you're running like NCAC to LTV equations to kind of like prove out if different tests are working or not, which is just so different than profitable on first order, optimizing for like AOV. So that's like the biggest thing that kind of broke my brain. And even today, it's like, oh yeah, am I thinking about this right? Like, are we actually like making it up on the long tail? Can the dip in conversion rate actually, does the percent in subscription orders make up the dip in conversion rate? Like running all of those with mini equations in your head when looking at tests is just way more complicated than how it used to be selling wallets.
Wow. Okay, this exactly what you just described, Mike.
Yeah,
exactly like the biggest mind warp for me. I've always been in catalog type brand. Goal is to be profitable first purchase. That is the goal everywhere and in every way, all day. And like being so hardwired for that, and then stepping into subscriptions, supplements, consumer brand. Like it's such a mind warp to then have to like think like, no, I'm not sinning by not being profitable first purchase. It's like, what's the LTV to CAC situation, this cohort, etc., modeling that out based on past performance. I mean, that is a true mind warp. And it has been for me. My first like step into this world was basically middle of last year. And it's not an easy thing to flip and start working like this.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is the way we're kind of jerry rigging some tooling to support certain types of upsells or certain type of experiences that aren't necessarily like out of the box. For example, like how do you upsell someone into a different subscription plan? Like it's very difficult to do that like within Shopify's rules, but there are ways that you can do it. So figuring out those ways, whether it be like a $0 product or, some other sort of like weird opt-in. Well, it's like, it all kind of like flushes out at the end when it goes into your data warehouse and you're actually like using like, a SQL to like pull the results and like, oh, okay, now I understand like an order that looks like this is what they're worth. But when you're looking like in platform and you have a million $0 upsells going, or like your upsell is really a downsell when you look at like the AOV, right? Like if you're going from one-time purchase to subscription, the number we charge is less. So like the analytics are all out of whack. So it's like, where do you even like look? And we've had to do a lot of that custom work with our partners, which has been a ton of fun, by the way, like really pushing like paper walls to get things to work.
Love that.
I mean, Mike, it sounds like you're doing a ton of testing over there and just making sure, trying to test all things all the time. I mean, is there a case where you were like, you had this test in mind, you took it and you were so certain that this thing was going to be a home run and it just absolutely flopped?
Oh yeah.
Not for Mike. Not for Mike. No flops ever. I think that's your middle name, Mike. Is Mike No Flops
Mike.
Ever DeLia.
That's hilarious, and I have to change like my LinkedIn to that. That's awesome. Yeah, no losses, only wins.
Only wins.
Obviously.
That's fair.
Yeah, no. We had a few scenarios where like, oh, this was really trending really, really well, or we had so much conviction that we ended the test and like made it into our SOP. Like, no, this is the way we build pages now, or like this is how we update the product form moving forward. And without going into too much detail, that happened over the winter, and we ended this test with like a really high level of certainty that like, okay, conversion rate held steady for the most part, but our percent of subscription orders was like up by almost 10%, which is a massive win for the business.
Huge.
So we're like, okay, like we can take this little loss on conversion if it means we're going to be have this much higher like LTV. Pushed it out, and then like over the weekend, like not only like site-wide go down, which is not something like Grüns typically looks at. We have like so many different funnels, so we're really like dependent on channel conversion rate. But like when you just see it going down like so bad, it's like, okay, something's either broken or like we messed up. And it was like, okay, nothing's broken. Like we're looking at the site, like nothing's down, the down detector, like nothing seems to be out of whack. What did we change? It was like, oh, well, we pushed the winner like on Friday, which is like, by the way, never do that. I will never do that ever again. Do not make changes to your website on Friday. Just don't do it. Please.
This is so true.
Okay. All right. But Mike,
so
like this is like so counterintuitive. You push the winner on Friday, things go down. Well,
yeah. I think what happened was like we had, and this is just a learning, like we had run this on a collection of pages and we kind of just thought like all traffic behaves the same, and just kind of like an amateur mistake, like not necessarily true. Like we thought we had a good mix of traffic. We thought we had like good traffic from Meta. We thought we had good retention traffic, like coming from our abandonment flows. And we also thought we had like a good mix of just like general either direct or your kind of like all other channels, like omni-channel, I guess, traffic. And we had figured like, okay, if we push this site wide, like we should see more of the same. And we just didn't. And then when we went back and really looked at the test, like, oh yeah, we actually over-index on this certain population, and really like made a really big decision on a very small sample size of all other populations of visitors that landed on our site. And ultimately it was like the wrong move. It's funny you asked, because we're revisiting that today. We were looking at, I was pulling those tests like this morning, be like, okay, like we've made so many other step function changes that now I think it's the right time to revisit this. But yeah, like we had to work on the weekend and pull it back. But that's all part of ecom. So
yeah,
that
is totally the case. something bad happening on Friday, that means you're definitely in front of your laptop on Saturday morning. You know?
Yeah.
That's totally the case. Okay, give me some more sauce on this tactical and kind of practical side. I have heard a little something from you about diagnosing intent before you redesign when it comes to tests, and also taking big swings, on copy and such. Fill this out for us a little bit, Mike.
Yeah. Diagnosing intent. That's always like the $1 million question, right? Like, what does the visitor want? And how do I get that in front of them? There was a really good article from the founders newsletter of Intelligence. Shout out Drew and Adam last summer about like, they had they were given a scenario basically where it was like, here's a visitor in our database already, like a known customer ID, wholesale rep. Every time they come to the site, like they're either logging in and they're going to buy stuff for their store. But this time they're looking for a gift for their husband.
Okay.
So like all the signals that you've built up about this customer ID are just like lost on this particular visit or this particular session. So it's like, okay, like how do you get around that? And the short answer is like, okay, you really don't. But there are ways to kind of like engineer a unique kind of journey on the site for every visitor, whether that be a repeat or a new to business. And I think like that's just taking advantage of the navigation and different elements you surface on site, and making very intentional about what content appears after. So for Grüns, something that's like really unique to our business is we have one product for everyone. And Grüns is a comprehensive nutritional health supplement. So it does so many things for so many different people. But how do we surface like the right thing that it does to the right person?
Yeah.
And we're just getting better, I think, about filtering and having experiences that generate after like a certain tell. So if like you click on like a fiber element or like a gut health element, we want to get to some place where like you're start seeing like content that's like more tailored to that zero party action, as opposed to like, an ad that you may have clicked on a week ago that might not be as relevant to an action you do on our website today. So like rapid site configuration is where I think like a lot of this like intent mining will go. There's still like signal mining you can do on like paid channels as well. Like, how many questions do they fill out in a survey? Like if they didn't complete it, like where did they get? And like you can kind of engineer some sort of other funnels for that. But I'm like really bullish on, okay, you clicked on this button. It means you really want to see like what's behind that button. How can we make it the best possible version of like what you want to see? That's not necessarily tactical and practical. That's like big vision type of stuff. I think execution though, it's like pretty simple. You can just do like copy like really rapidly. Like you can easily make like regenerate copy based on like a click, as opposed to like having like new dynamic content show up. But like copy,
that's a good point.
That's pretty easy to generate rapidly.
And you're sounds like you're an Intelligence fan.
Oh yeah, I've been using them for like almost like 4 years now, which is crazy.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout them out.
Do you want to be like me? Use IntelliGems.
Let's go. Let's go, Mike. Let's go, Mike. I feel that.
That's awesome.
I feel that. Just a cracked out tester of copy and site re-engineering based on intent-based clicks, etc. I like that. And okay, in this vein, I find the upselling piece very necessary, important, especially inside of a subscription business. Again, my first foray, basically a year ago at this point, getting into subscription and how to upsell, downsell, etc. What's that look like for you? I mean, this whole journey. I think you actually came to us by way of Alicia over at Aftersell, I believe, is how we got connected. But what's this look like for you in your engineering, looking LTV, CAC, etc.? Like, what's this look like on your plate?
Yeah, we're constantly playing this game of like, as we increase conversion rate, how does the order mix change? Like whether we increase one-time purchase or increase monthly. With those increases or decreases, however the order mix change, like what do we then need to go like back and right the ship? Okay, if we're increasing monthly orders, this is great. That means we have more volume for those monthly order. That means we have more volume to go push into quarterly upsells. We have another selling plan that's a 12-week plan. We call it quarterly. And we want to get our monthly customers like into that plan. And it's like, okay, like now we have like more volume to go push to those funnels, and like let's see. Or those offers, like let's see what we can test, whether that's like an in checkout upsell in post purchase, or like or on the TYP or OSP. Like all those surfaces are dedicated to like getting someone who's a monthly customer into a higher rebill subscription. Same with a one-time purchase, the OTP. Like we're also saying, okay, if we increase a % of orders into OTP, that's ultimately not good. We want to go back and like solve that problem and keep one-time purchase like at bay. But should we like, where else can we like cast a net to try to like capture some of those folks who opted into one-time purchase, and how do we make them subscribers? So through Aftersale, we honestly have like 1 million touch points.
Man, it's gotta be
that we can say like, okay, like you make this selection, like this is what you're going to see in checkout and post purchase, on the thank you page, on order status, etc. And like really kind of like plug those holes. Yeah, I mean, like it's for Grüns, it's getting you into a subscription or a higher rebill subscription. For companies like Bridge and Groove Life, what was interesting was like it's all about kit building. And so like how do you increase like AOV? And for that, it was like high relevancy to the product. So like for a wallet, like what makes the most sense to buy with your wallet, or for rings, what makes the most sense to buy for your rings. For Grüns, it's much different, and frankly a little bit harder, right? With these like hard rules we have in Shopify, but same sort of like architecture when it comes down to it, and placement, it just executed a lot differently.
Mike, I'd love to talk about the fact that you guys are expanding to like 9 different brands. I imagine you're just at home with 12 different monitors set up in your office, and you have like a brand on each one, and you're like Neo and the Matrix, just like moving the numbers up and to the right. Can you talk about kind of how you guys are tackling this, and how you feel about everything moving forward with, I mean, I think you're adding like 9 brands into the portfolio.
We're definitely growing, and we're definitely looking to go after different TAMs in health and wellness. I'd say like the first thing is that we have an amazing team. Like we have some of the most amazing people I've ever worked with.
I think so.
Who are like just so primed to go after this like huge initiative of more brands. So that's, suffice to say, it's not just me. I'm not the only one in the Matrix. We have a whole team in the Grüniverse right now.
The Grüniverse.
Grüniverse. Hey,
that's awesome.
Verbiage here. Great.
That's awesome.
The Grüniverse. That's the first
We're
time
developing
I've heard
a lexicon. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
I like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
We have a stack team. We have a stack team going after this goal, and I think like the way we're thinking about it is that each of these products, like we want them to find their own TAM, and I think that's something that's like, as Chad has like been really focused on as well, is like how do we position each of these brands to grow like Grüns has grown, and not think of it as like here's the parent, and then these are all like the sub brands. We really want each emerging brand like Nutriups, Immune, and Juice to find their own market. On a tech side, like how are we doing that? Which is something more that I can answer is like, obviously we're on Shopify, but like, what does that look like when you're, managing storefront after storefront after storefront with all the different like post-purchase offers that I just described to you, or the upsell configurations.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just been kind of like a big initiative on the e-com team now is like, now that we're kind of like preparing for this scale, is like systematizing and just figuring out like the best way to sort of automate and use AI while building like the same like reliable infrastructure every time. Because once we get it repeatable, that's when we can go in and like make it more malleable per brand. And like, okay, like now we know little tweaks about like a Juice customer versus a Nutriups customer. But I think where we are to prepare for the scale is just focus on like, let's build like really robust systems that can grow with us and can handle the volume that we anticipate.
I mean, Mike, with everything that you are doing on the testing side, on the tech side, to like push the numbers in your favor, like, and then doing that, across multiple brands, multiple stores. Like, I'm looking at Juiced right now. This thing's gorgeous, man. It's a gorgeous looking website. I mean, the team is cracked. I didn't even really know what Juiced was, to be honest. But now that I'm looking at it, it's like pre-energy anything, pre-anything energy gummies. You look at the websites, Peachy pick.
Oh, let's go. We got them right here.
Let's go, baby. Oh! Let's go, Juice.
Let's go.
The Barry is lifting weights, which I think is so awesome. And the gummy itself has like some really incredible detail. But yeah,
incredible, man. Incredible.
You guys are cracked,
man. Wow. That's so exciting. That's so exciting, brother. Well, I mean, like, so much ahead. There's like so much ahead for you. I mean, I would think, obviously the big finish line in some ways that you guys, is actually, it's like a new starting line. And man, you've got so many things on your plate now, and just continuing to do this up and to the right. Man, that's incredible, man. It's so exciting. Tell me this, Mike. Man, I can't find you on Twitter. I don't think you are there. Are you on X? If you are there, I cannot find you. Where do people find you and follow you, Mike?
I'm not. I'm kind of low key. Maybe it's like the Gen Z in me. I'm not on X. I feel like there's a lot of millennial guys are on X, and I gotta go
no! That's
shade is crazy.
That's like the mark of death, from Gen Z. They're like a lot of millennials, That's like
sorry. My bad.
The olds hang out there.
That's where the olds hang out, I think.
No, you're right. I gotta get on there. But right now I'm just on LinkedIn. But honestly, the best way you can, see what I'm up to is go buy some gummies. See what we're cooking. Hopefully you get an A/B test and you tell me how it is.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Everybody go to Grüns, go to Juiced. What are the other ones that are coming out here, Mike? It's Juiced.
Yeah. Well, right now we have Grüns, obviously. Juiced are pre-anything gummy. We have Nutriups, which are functional nootropics. I take those every day. I love them. And then we have Immune, IMM, little umlaut, and then N. Yeah, it's our daily immunity gummy, which one of my favorite flavor experiences. It's got like sour pineapple, some black pepper in there. But those are our brands that are out there for now. But we definitely have more. We're definitely always looking for places to grow. So
let's go. I need those immunes for when I'm traveling.
Yes, they're great. They're great for traveling. Heck yeah.
100%.
And the Juice, I think the Juiced would be perfect for me, except 75.
He needs 400 milligrams.
I'm usually more of a 200 guy. I'm usually more of a 200 per shot guy, but I think this is a great idea, and obviously the team is cracked and continues to win. Mike, we appreciate you making the time to join us, brother. Everybody go and scour the interwebs to find Mike and get into his flows and A/B tests, and that's where you'll pick up the sauce. We appreciate you making the time to join us, Mike. We look forward to having you back. Congrats to you and the team. Thank you, Mike.